everyone, it's Shay with Truly You Wellness. Today I wanted to do a couple of videos on how to deal with stress and how to deal with emotional overwhelm. I'm going to break them down into two videos, one to keep them short and two because while they start the same, they do finish different. So for emotional overwhelm, when you're just being bombarded by all those different emotions, a great way to do it is to do a brain dump, or I guess a heart dump in this case, as their emotions. Bless you. I'm puppy sitting. And you do this by basically just the same thing as a brain dump. You're just going to put them all out on a piece of paper. Make it as neat as you want, as messy as you want, however you need to. Just get those emotions out of there. If you don't know the name of the emotion that you're feeling, put something that'll make you know what it is that you're talking about. One of the later steps might help you identify what that emotion is. Once you have those all down, what you're going to do is you're going to look at all the different emotions and to see which ones are not yours. We tend to learn a lot of emotional responses from people in our lives as well as society. So you just want to highlight those, make note of those, and then put them aside. We'll come back to those later. The rest of the emotions that are there, what you want to do is you want to look up an emotional wheel. There's a whole bunch of different ones that are involved. They're very large. Some of them are a little more simple, but they break down all the different emotions into a core emotion. Okay, there's a lot of different emotions that go into love. There's a lot of different emotions that go into angry. So you want to see what all your emotions come down to as a core emotion, to see if it's just one particular emotion that you're feeling or a couple of different ones, and then those can be the ones that you focused on. Acknowledging emotions in itself will give a sense of peace. They're kind of like, emotions are needy kids. While they teach us what we need to be aware of, they want that attention. They want that acknowledgement. Okay? So that in itself will give some calm beyond the dump. So once you have your core emotions, you want to look at why. Why do you have that emotion towards whatever it is that's going on? Stopping to have that objective look will also usually tells us, why it is that we feel that way, what needs to happen so that we don't feel that way next time. Okay? And it teaches us how it gives us the answers on how to deal with them. All right? So try that. For the ones that are not yours, when you have time, it's important that you go back to them. Okay? Because having emotions that are not yours to carry is the same as having thoughts that aren't yours to carry. It's not you. Don't let it infest you. Okay? You don't need the extra voices. You don't need the extra emotions. You don't need that extra heaping of things. So you want to look at, where did you learn this emotional response? Who did you learn it from? Do you know why they maybe had that emotional response to it? And then really look at what your emotional response is to it. What is in your heart when it comes to whatever that situation is. Then the next time that it comes up, you'll find that you have better control over your emotions, and you'll have what will be just your emotions. It'll get rid of what is not yours to carry. And that in itself will reduce an emotional overload next time. Thanks. Have a great day.